We're here, we're direct. From TikTok to in person. Nah, TikTok to WhatsApp to in person to the studio. Looking clean. What are you telling me?
Come on, man. I'm good, bro. How you doing?
Welcome to the Beyond Football podcast.
Excited, man. I'm excited.
Give us an insight. Who are you?
So I'm a projects manager and a semi-pro footballer. And guys, I'm absolutely sweaty. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm burning hot. That's why I'm speaking like this. But yeah, I'm going to get cooler as the time goes on. But yeah, that's just some insight on me. I've been going viral on TikTok recently from a lot of my videos that I've been giving people insight on life, doing football and working a corporate job. You know, it's something that a lot of us go through, a lot of people that have kind of slipped through the net. And, you know, it can be a struggle as well. So I'm sort of here to just give a bit more insight on that.
Boom. Love it, man.
Yeah, man.
So where did the journey in football start for you? Was it always a dream?
You know what? Football, I don't think I did it the traditional way, if I'm being honest, because I know a lot of people went through academy. You know, they played from like 6 years old, 7 years old, and they sort of found their way in academy level, right? And a lot of them would play at England under 12s, 13s, 14s, 15s, find themselves getting a scholarship, going to, you know, professional level, getting like a 2-year scholar, getting offered a pro. For me, I started football when I was about 10. It was actually my older brother that got me into it. And it was a thing where I was, quickly, where's the camera? Look over there. Yeah, so for me, it was just mainly a thing where I would play football, but I wouldn't necessarily be that into it. Just a quick disclaimer, it was actually the Arsenal-Barcelona Champions League, I think it was round of 16 game. I think 2011 or 2012, one of those years. I watched that game, and then I think I fell in love with football then.
Who was playing?
It was Arsenal, Barcelona. Do you know Nasri when he scored that last minute goal? And then I remember Messi just ripping us up with like David Villa when they had Pedro, like all them ballers. Like, that's when I was proper into it, innit? So from there, I signed up for my local club. And when I signed for my local club, I was doing a madness. I'll be real. And that's when I fell more into love with the game, innit? So it was a thing where I decided that this is definitely something that I want to pursue, like long term for sure, man. I was like, yeah, this is it for me. Like I'm gonna play football. And I actually got scouted for Southend when I was about, how old was I when I got scouted for Southend? I was about 10. And the thing is, back then, I didn't really know too much about football. And neither did like my parents. My parents, you know, a lot of parents tend to enjoy the game. My parents didn't really care about football. So they didn't really understand, but they cared about me playing it. So when they heard Southend, I was like, oh, it's too far. Like, what's Southend? What's Southend United? So I ended up going on trial there. But then a couple of years later, I ended up at Norwich on a long-term trial. I was actually there for a total of 6 months. So it kept on getting extended. And the reason I kept on getting extended is it was actually to earn a scholarship. So it wasn't like a schoolboy form. Like, that's a lot more simple, right? So you just sign. So I was there on a 6-month trial, didn't get in, found myself playing semi-pro football. I played at Takeley most recently in Step 5. So I've just sort of been navigating that, playing semi-pro football. And I've realised, like, life's harsh and you need to earn money. So that's when I got into projects management. And then when I got into projects management, it was a thing where I was like, okay, cool, like, let me try and merge this together. You know, I had ambitions of trying to break into the National League at, like, 24. That was sort of my aim. It's still possible. Like, anything's possible, innit, with God and, you know, if you believe, right? So I think for me, it's just, yeah, I'm just sort of trying to navigate that at the moment. But yeah, as you can imagine, it's been a bit of a struggle. You know, them long away journeys, you know, and go and work the next morning.
Yeah,
is nuts.
Especially on a Tuesday night. It's a myth. Yeah.
You already know. You play yourself, innit?
Yeah,
you play. Yeah. Did you play for again?
National League.
You play National League level, but you play for a pro team, innit? So you're training every day. But how do you even balance?
I work as well.
You work. What are you doing for work at the moment?
So I teach at a school.
Okay.
I also run this business. Yeah.
How you
range of
finding that
different
though?
things.
How you finding that balancing it?
It's all about time management, but it's
Yeah.
not easy. It's not easy at all. But you've got to really be disciplined, prioritizing different opportunities.
Yeah.
But you might lose sleep. Like I've had a lot of like my mum. She's been watching a few episodes. She'd be like, "You look like you're not sleeping on these podcasts." And that.
Flipping it.
But it's a lot of sacrifice that you have to obviously commit to and everything. But you know those early periods. Like how did it feel when your parents couldn't take you to those opportunities at Southend?
To be honest, I think I understood because my parents didn't even want me to play on Sundays. They wanted me to go to church at first, but then they realised later on. Funnily enough, I've got 3 siblings, right? No, I've got 4 siblings altogether. 2 brothers, 2 sisters. 2 of my brothers wanted to play football on Sundays. My parents were like, nope, you're going to church. But then when it came to me, they start to learn. As things...
You can allow it.
Yeah, they're like, okay, you know what? Because I was really good and like, they were like, okay, cool, he's got to play Sundays. And I used to actually play for Dagenham. I don't know if you know, there's a couple ballers there that were in and around at West Ham. Our year, actually.
Okay.
A couple guys that were at West Ham got released. One of them was at Barnsley, a guy called Josh, Gabriel, all that. Gabriel, all of them lot. I think they all used to play in and around back then. So there was a couple of like those West Ham guys. I used to play with them at Dagenham in like, I think when I was like around 12. And they all went on to like play academy football, but then they eventually like got released, didn't get a pro, all of that stuff. And they were talented, like very, very good players.
What, none of them still playing?
No, I don't think they're playing still. To be fair, I thought you would know Josh Olat. To be fair.
Josh Ola?
Yeah, I think it's Ola. Oh, okay, do you know Ayo? The one that was at Brighton?
Yeah, I know Ayo.
Okay, and he knows all of them lot, innit?
I know Ayo. I was with Ayo a few weeks ago.
See, and if you know him, you'll know them lot, 100. I think I'm just not saying the names properly. You'll know all of them.
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
I played with a couple of them at Eurodag. And for me, back to the question. So in terms of like navigating everything, I think it was just a bit of a struggle to not be... do you know what? Being in a position where you see other parents coming to the games and stuff, you're like, but then I'm Nigerian at the end of the day. So I know what it is. Like, I know my parents don't love me any less. Like, it's just Nigerian parents, you get me?
What do you mean?
Bro, you know how Nigerian parents... you know how Nigerian parents get, man. Like, they're not... It's not that they don't love you, innit? They're just not as... That's just it, innit? That's Nigerian parents for you. It's not...
Yeah, hustling for the rest of your siblings.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, so...
I hear you.
Yeah, but for me, it's just like... When it comes to being good at football and not getting dropped, that is the harshest thing because you've got talent. And when you're not going to these games and they're not dropping you off to these games, it can be a bit stressful as well because there was even a time where, not even the Norwich trial, there was a time where I don't know if you've heard of it, but like before the 6-week trial when you do like a centre of excellence. I had a centre of excellence at West Ham. So this was when I was about 16. So this was before I went on the trial at Norwich. So I had like the centre of excellence. So it's just a bunch of players that are just playing. And then they'll bring you in for a 6-week trial. So it's basically like the for the 6-week trial. And all of that stuff was necessary because we're all older at the end of the day. Like we're not 10 where they can sort of bring you in, trial, bang, bang, and they have time to develop, So they need to see there and then. And I remember even then, like it was tough to even get to there. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now that I'm driving, I think that's why it's a lot easier for me to play the level that I'm playing at now. Even right now, I'm even injured. Like I'm not even playing at the moment.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's even giving me less stress right now, to be honest with you. If I'm being real, bro, because when I was going Takeley all the way to like, near Bishop Stortford, working.
Where's that? Is that north?
Bishop Stortford, that's like, it's Essex, isn't it? It's near Harlow, but like 20 minutes. Let's say Harlow, add on an extra 30 minutes.
Okay.
Bro, it was far,
that's
innit? Quay, man. So I was always traveling in and out, and then project management, you're managing so many different projects. And like that itself, you need time management. So that's where it can get stressful. And then myself, I'm training to be fit so I can move up in football as well. So.
And then at that point in time, you said you were around 10, Southend. So what was the process like in your football journey after that, not being able to go to that trial, etc.?
That's when I started playing so I started taking my football a bit more serious. back when we were younger, there was so many good teams like Aztec, all these different teams like Barking, like, you know, when you get all these ballers. So I made the step up to like playing, you know, like EJA when it used to be a big deal, like when we were younger. I decided, okay, let me go up that league. And then I remember there was like a guy that I knew. He then said to me, okay, there's a league full of like shadow teams, you know, like the B teams of the academy teams, like
Yeah.
you know,
Foundations.
So you can sort of play against them, and then those clubs will then, you know, look at you. Funnily enough, that's how I actually got scouted for Norwich Academy, because I played in that league against another shadow team, and then Norwich Academy like, okay, let's bring him in on like a 6-week trial originally. That was like the original plan, and then it kept getting extended. So it was just like, to be fair, it was ups. It was a lot of ups after. I continued playing, I continued working hard. I was moving up the leagues in general, I would say anyways. And like I took my football a lot more serious, because I realized, okay, if an academy club was interested in me, then surely like I could do something.
Yeah. Facts.
So football's a game of opinions at the end of the day. So
100%.
you get players that fall out the net that are ballers, and I'm thinking, how? Do you get what I'm saying?
It's a wicked environment.
It is, man.
A big wicked environment. But that access limitation, see parents not being able to bring you, something that people it comes up so many times.
Yeah.
So it's a real privilege to obviously have that support system and that.
That's what I'm saying. No, and that's the thing as well. I think there's this thing where people say like it tends to be with a lot of like the Nigerian, African parents that tend to do that. Would you say that that's a controversial thing to say? Like it's mainly a lot of the...
I don't think it's controversial. I just think it's the reality behind it.
It is the reality though.
It's the reality behind it, but it's because of obviously lack of education, lack of understanding. You know, coming from a particular culture where it's an area of uncertainty that they don't understand.
Education is the main thing.
Yeah.
For them, innit?
I feel like there's pros and cons to each
yes.
To each way of going about it.
100%.
But I do believe through obviously things like this podcast, raising awareness of the possibility of you being able to do both, like I've done. I've played it professionally and I've got a degree whilst playing professionally.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Helping them to understand that it's possible.
That's nuts.
That might change their mindsets and obviously believe. But I was fortunate enough to have parents that really invested into me and believed in me.
Of course.
So that's what, but that's a determining factor ultimately. That access limitation.
No, of course.
But yeah, it's interesting. So around that time, obviously through those period of playing the EJA, after Southend, going through school, obviously focusing on football, would you say football was your main interest, or what did you have in terms of like what you wanted to become around those ages?
You know what? I think football was still the main thing. I think I'll be real. Like I started falling out of love with football when I was like 19, 20.
Okay.
I'd say, to be honest. And I think that's because I started working from like 17 because I needed to sustain myself as well. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to start working and I'm going to try and earn some money for myself alongside playing football. Because at the time, I wasn't earning money from football. I only started earning money from football when I was about 20. So for me, it's a thing where, all right, cool. If I'm earning money, it's going to allow me to sort of get to a lot of these football clubs, right?
Yeah.
So that's the main thing for me. Get into these clubs, man. You need money. You need money for petrol. You need money to get a car. You need money. That money is important.
Most clubs don't think you need money though.
But this is,
they expect you to pay for free.
But this is what I'm saying. They're crazy. They're they're crazy. But like,
it's a privilege, no,
bro. But this is the thing, right? A lot of these clubs, I think, who's gonna get you the results to move up? Like for example, let's say if there's a club in, let's say even step 6 or 7, and these clubs have aspirations of getting promoted. You bring in a top player, a top striker, and they score 30, 40 goals and they move you up the league. The higher up the leagues you go, the more money that gets pumped into your club, right? Naturally, because you're moving up the leagues, more access to other facilities, etc. Especially when your club is like FA qualified or whatever. I just think honestly, like if you're investing in the football club, then you have to invest in the players because the players are the reason.
Club,
yeah, the players are the football club, and Yeah, like, I think I'm seeing some clubs nowadays, anyways, paying players a ridiculous amount.
Especially in step 5.
That doesn't make sense to me,
Do you experience that? You get paid $1 million, innit?
bro. You know, bro. You know what's bad? I'll be real, yeah. Like I'll be honest, guys. Like I was getting paid chicken change in it when I was playing, yeah. Petty money, like that's what it is, isn't it? Petrol, you know, people say that. But bro, the top earner at my team, step 5, at least 2 bills, and I was like, how? I was thinking, what is going on?
Per game or week?
Bro, per game.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, that's crazy. Like, but then it's the norm.
No, I've heard more than that, bro.
There's even more. See, that's the thing. There's even worse.
2
That's
bills. I was expecting you to say like 2K.
No, there's worse. There's worse. Like, bro, I'm not even gonna name the clubs in it, but there's worse. Like, it's
because I've played. Nah, let me not. I remember I played once for like a step 4 or 5 team, and they pay like a lot.
No, you're gonna be on more bread, innit? Because you're at West Ham, bro. Like, you have.
I know, but even to other players and that,
like paying them a lot of money.
Yeah. We hear so many stories of players clubs that just dishing out.
I don't get. I think it's the owners.
Yeah.
It's the owners, because the owners are completely breaded. They can put that money and push it into the budget, more into the budget. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think it should be like that. Like, bro, playing semi-pro football is a job. Like, you're training in the evening, getting back. You know, you have your other job to balance it with. It's the pressing. People should be getting paid a good amount. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
National League as well is basically, before National League was semi-pro. Do you remember when it was like more of a semi? Now it's professional.
Yeah, it's
like even National League South, you're getting teams that
got their names on the back, everything.
Bro, it's just crazy to me. I think that's crazy, but it makes sense now. I'm seeing the football that's being played at National League as well. Like, they're zipping it about. Like, it looks more professional. Do you know?
Nah, definitely. And that trial at Norwich, for it to get extended, there's different processes. Talk me through how that was.
So I remember when I came to Norwich the first time. I even remember when I got scouted. Yeah, it was actually my friend's dad that told me. Shout out to Reese. So it's his dad, right? Marvin. He texted me saying, "Oh, like Norwich are interested in you," because they watched me play. And I remember the game as well. I remember I scored 2 goals that game, and like I was playing well. And I think it was against like a Crystal Palace Foundation team or something like that, like in the leagues. We were in some like London league in Central. I forgot what it was called, but like I played at Pro Star. I don't know if you heard of them.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, like a lot of players come through there. You know, like one of these like fillers where players come through.
Like Pro Star, like similar to like Connected.
Yes, yeah, like similar
that,
vibe. So they were based in the East, and you already know the ballers in the East. So I remember I got scouted. I came in, and I remember the gaffer telling me, "Oh, where'd you play?" I said, "I'm a winger or striker." He said, "All right, cool. Yeah, you're gonna go left back." I was like, what?
No, that adds up,
bro. And then I went left back, and then like I was alright in it, but I noticed they do that for a lot of wingers. I don't know why they do that, but I started playing left back, and I remember I was playing really well, but they weren't sure about me because I think they felt like, because look, I think for me, like I was quite technical, and I had a good first touch. I can play football. I think what I was sort of missing was that like edge in terms of
aggressive. Yes.
No, but that's the thing. I'm aggressive, but you know, there's some players that are like they're arrogant with it. Like don't get me wrong, I'm arrogant with it, but there's some players that have that like, how do I put it?
That swagger.
That swagger, like they're gonna, like if someone tries it with them straight, like I was a bit too nice. Like even though I was arrogant with it, I was a bit too nice. Like if someone tried me, like I would probably be like, "Oh, bro, like you stop." Like instead of pushing him back and you know letting him know. This was back then. Obviously, I was 17 here. Like now, it's a different story now. Like when I play, but back then, I didn't have that like edge,
tenacity.
That's the word, tenacity. You know what player in the Prem that I would say has that tenacity, Sadio Mane. You know that type of player. Like I was missing that, and I think they weren't sure about me, but they could see that I could fit in, and I had the same brain as the rest of them.
Wow, that's interesting.
You can tell who's got a brain from a rondo, in my opinion. That's just me. I don't know why.
100%. Yeah.
Put someone in a rondo, you can tell if they're ball or not by the way they can maneuver, especially in a rondo when the ball's moving rapid.
Definitely.
That's when you know who's a ball or not. That's when people start crumbling in it. So,
what do you feel about in terms of the trial system? Do you think it takes 6 weeks to know whether or not you're going to sign a player? I think you can know from day one.
I think you'll know from day one. I think this whole 6 week thing is just silly. I don't think it should, like, let's be real. Look, I think it's rubbish, innit? I can't swear on this podcast, can I? I was just say, I think it's bullshit, innit? Like, for me personally, bro, like, I think you will know if someone's a baller. If
fact.
you go on trial at West Ham and you go on a 6 week trial and that guy's a baller, and then Man United are like, come here, man, we'll take you in now. We'll sign you. West Ham is going to obviously be like, oh, we'll take you in. We don't want to go put you on trial, right? That's the proof in the pudding for me. So if you can do it already, why are you not doing it then? I feel like clubs like to mess people around as well.
Yeah, a lot of the time.
And that's, bro, the professional environment's dark, man.
Literally that. I agree. I feel like you can just tell, innit? Like, I've been to many different clubs, and you already know what players are like, okay, cool. I'll have him in my team. Like, for me, it's just, I need to see him in a game. I understand, like, the difference between training and game situation. Yeah, it's definitely. But after like one game or two games, you can get the gist of whether or not. Because I feel like in terms of football, there's just main things that you need in terms of whether or not that player will be successful or not.
Yeah.
The attitude, the technical, tactical ability, and the work rate. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If they're ticking those boxes, then I feel like it's more time a no-brainer. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially young players that they can develop, etc.
No, you're right.
But a lot of teams do mess them around and that.
Politics.
What's been your experience?
Well, when it comes to like football politics, and
yeah,
I've had issues with agents, like even now. So there was a time where I was at Norwich, and then my agent that was with me at the time, he was like to me, okay, cool, like Norwich is obviously there. Like there's a few clubs there, like in terms of, you know, the semi-pro level that would sign you as well. Like, because I remember at the time when I was even playing for Norwich, and I was like on trial there, I remember my agent telling me, okay, cool, like you can, if sort of it goes downhill, you can play like here, like step 3. Yeah. I remember at the time, there was clubs like Bournemouth Wood, but they were like semi-pro at the time. He was like listing those type of clubs, but this was back then when they weren't as
big
now. So he would mention a lot of those clubs to me. And I remember like, even after I didn't get the Norwich trial, and this was an agent that was with me for like a couple months. When I didn't get, the Norwich scholar, he disappeared. Like, they don't answer your calls. And I was just thinking, this is brazy. Like,
the reality behind it.
I was like, what, bro? Like, because he was with me throughout when I was playing, like, at a good level. And, you know, he's seen me play and he knows what I'm about. Like, he knows what I'm about. So it's a thing where, because even for me, like, I played with one player. There's a player that I played with at Takeley, yeah. One of the craziest ballers I've ever seen. I don't know if you've heard of a guy called Elliot Long.
Yeah, I know Elliot. He played at Wingate.
He's flipping cold.
Welling.
Yeah, he is.
I play with him.
Swear down. Wait, what club?
Welling.
What, now? You play with him now?
No, I was with him at Welling.
Swear down. Oh my days.
I've heard of him, yeah.
Bro, that
baller.
He's like me. Never played in Sandford Academy. I remember when I first came to Takeley, I was always on the bench. And I was looking at the player that was ahead of me and I was thinking, why am I on the bench? This doesn't make sense to me. I was always on the bench like all the time. And I was just thinking like, if I could just get a run of games. I'm thinking, I've played with top players. I've been here, I've been there. Why can't I start at this level? Like, this is crazy to me. I'm thinking like, do I need to pack in football at this point? And I remember like playing with Elliot, like just the stuff that he used to do. And even when I used to play with Elliot as well, like, even all the other managers and stuff, they would always talk and be like, oh, he's probably going to go. Because now he's at Welling now and he's probably going to end up getting a pro potentially. I think he will. And there's even another player, Matt, that played at Wingate. He's one of the players that I used to play with. Don't know if you've heard of these like football consultancy programs where you play against like academies, like FTF, and you play against like their actual squads. You go up against them. Oh, you never heard of it? Like, it's like similar to a showcase.
It's
similar, but like they've
Like
actually got like a
Kinetic and that.
yeah, but it's like further up, and there's like
Okay.
ex-pros that run it. And I remember I played against what's the club? Wealdstone.
Woolstone,
So I played against like there's a couple players I know, like Jacob Mendy.
Yeah.
So I played against him. And I remember I was playing right back, and that's when I clocked, okay, yeah, football's crazy. Because I was thinking that level will be easy. Like, I've played academy level before. My God.
Yeah.
The players that, because those players that are coming through have come from higher anyways.
Yeah.
So, bro, like, I remember I touched the ball, there was like 3 players around me, and I was playing right back, and I was thinking, shit, bro, like, I'm in trouble. I touched the ball, I just saw 3 players around me. There's one guy, a striker, Don Polian as well.
Yeah, Don.
I was chasing him down. I went to like put in a challenge. I was limping for the 10 minutes. Bro, like, it doesn't make sense. Bro, like, these players are quick fit. That's when I knew I had to work. This was when I was 19 when I was playing. And Matt played as well. Matt's at Wingate now. I'm pretty sure he should get a move, but I don't know.
Matt what?
Chuba. Sent him a DM. You'll know his face, innit, if you see him.
Okay.
But he's a DM, innit? But yeah, there's a couple players that I played with, like, but yeah, back to Takeley, right? So I remember I was there. I'm not there right now. I was meant to play there this season, but I'm currently like a free agent. Like, I've been injured. And for me, it was just like, all right, you know what? I'm going to relax for a bit. But like, I know I need to play football, because if I miss a season out, like, you know, when you miss a season, you can't do that. You can't, especially if you have aspirations to play it high.
100%, yeah.
So like, my agent recently, another bit of politics, right? I must have texted him, and he was like to me, oh yeah, like, there's a Step 4 club wanting to go train there. So I trained there, I didn't like it, and I said, okay, do you know what? I want to go back to playing for this club at Step 5. He was like to me, oh no, he started having a go at me. He was like, oh, but they wanted you, da-da-da. And I said, no, but I wasn't enjoying it. Like, the environment was just dead. Like, if I'm playing those levels, which I perceive as lower levels, I want to enjoy myself.
Yeah.
Well, why am I struggling? Like, if I'm playing Step 1, I'll happily struggle in it. Like, cool. Like, I'm getting somewhere. But at that level, I'm good. So he must have been like to me, oh, like, cool. Like, that's all right then. And then once again, I tried to speak to him. And again, airing my calls and stuff. And a lot of these agents do that. You got to be careful. I've seen people mess up deals. I've seen agents mess up players' deals for money as well. So
that's the reality behind the game, man. That's the reality.
That's what I'm saying.
So obviously through that football journey, after that Norwich experience, and how did you manage your journey beyond football?
Oh, that's a good one. So I just thought I need a skill set, man. Something that I can do. You know, I'm fortunate enough to come from a background where my family were very educated. My dad owned, you know, a polytechnic. You know, I had, you know, family that were really doing their thing. So I just thought to myself, all right, cool. You know what? This is the thing where I need to get advice from my family, and I need to see what I can do, because I didn't go to university. I don't have a degree. What can I do that's gonna sort of get me, you know, some
did you have the
money?
option to go to uni?
I did, but I decided to opt against it. Just when I got rejected from Norwich, just like before, that's when I was like, okay, do you know what? I'm not gonna go uni. I need to prove to myself I can get this pro. Let me just play semi-pro football for a bit. So I decided to then go uni. I decided to not go uni. Not to go uni. Decided to not go university. And I was actually looking to pursue an apprenticeship. I was so close. And then I was just like, you know what? No. I'm going to work hard and try and just get some real life experience, and then get into like something like project management, because that's what I thought I would enjoy out of everything. Yeah. And that's where, I'll be honest, guys, like, that's where I saw the money in it. I was just like, do you know what? If I'm going to do something that...
Starting at 80K.
Oh, bro. That's where I saw the money in it. I was just like, do you know what? This is what I can do that's going to get me a bit of money, a bit of bread. And it's something that I'm going to enjoy potentially as well. And, you know, I actually enjoy talking to people. So I was like, do you know what, bun it, let me do it. So I did it, landed my first job when I was like, proper project management job when I was like 19.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk me through the process.
Oh, bro. So I did like a course. I must have done like a Prince 2 course, right? And I did a Scrum Master. And for me, the main thing was sort of using that experience that I've had in my past jobs. So like when I worked as a customer, so I worked in a warehouse, bro. Like I was doing some dog work, man. Like, and I used that to put it on my CV, and I was like, you know what, let me try and use this to my advantage. And then the first job I landed was like a project admin role, and then I managed to, in that role, get promoted to like a junior project manager role like within like 6 to 7 months, because I was like, you know, let me put my head down, try and learn the ropes, because I can use my brain, man. Like, it's not just my legs that work to play football. Like, I can use my brain for something, man. That's how I managed to navigate it. And then I ended up, you know, in a junior PM role, and I was like, you know what, I'm young and I'm in this role early. Nah, my earning potential's mad here. Like, let me try and do
what
something.
age were you?
I was 19 here, innit?
Oh, nice.
And then when I turned 20, that's when I was like, started to become more like confident. I was like, okay, do you know what? I'm going to go for this. Then I applied for one role that I saw. They can be very, very ageist. That's the thing. And you have to be careful. Yeah, because they see like you're young. They're like, he's young. Like, what the hell? Like, how dare he? Sort of thing. Like, it's like an unspoken thing. So that's why you got to be careful, and like you got to show yourself to look older by how you dress, by the way you speak, by the way you present yourself. So that's what like I used to do. I used to kind of fake it till I made it, sort of thing, like with the way I perceived myself.
Yeah.
And the experience that I had behind me didn't lie, and numbers don't lie as well. So they had to take me on. And then when I turned 21, that's when I landed a role at an insurance firm. And I started getting paid a lot of money then. But you know what's so funny? When I started earning all this money, the only thing that was in my head was, yes, now I'm going to go play football. Easier for me now. That's what was in my head. But I was like, it's going to be tougher, but it's going to be easier, because now I can drive, I can get a car, I can do this, do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, wow. That's amazing though. But it shows, because this is what this podcast is all about. You know, people who go through those situations chasing the dream of football.
Yeah.
But you often hear of stories about players who do that, and then they don't make something out of themselves.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, I dedicated all this time.
Bankrupt, innit? A lot of
to
them
football. Not even bankrupt, but even like young players at the age of 19, they decided to pursue that non-league route instead of going to uni, and then they end up like not knowing where to go from there. Do you get what I'm saying?
A lot of guys like that, actually, yeah.
By the age now, they struggle through their 20s, and they're just like, they don't know what they're doing. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, you're right. And there is a lot of players like that.
A lot, thousands.
It's sad, man, because sometimes I just think to myself, like, there's one player, I think he fell off, but then I think he works. No, do you know what? I wouldn't say he fell off per se, but he was playing like a good level, and then now he works. But they made it seem like he works at Morley's, but he actually owns the chicken shop. Yeah, or he owns. You know who I'm talking about? He owns like one of the chicken shops. So he was pro. Search up, yeah. So pro footballer, and then he like fell out of the game. They ended up like owning one of the Morleys or two of them. But obviously that's like, if you own like one or two of the Morleys, that's basically like a 9-to-5 job when you think about it.
Yeah.
So he's kind of done something though. He's owning something. That's good.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That's good, but you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy to me, man, all of this.
It's crazy, but it's important, you know. That's why I was like, you know, shining a light on people like you who obviously you've gone now. You've shown that you've used your skills in football now. All the things you've learned, now you've made a way for yourself or made something out of yourself in the project management world, learning a skill. So now you've allowed yourself to have that secure base beyond football. Regardless of whether football goes well or not. Exactly. You're patterned.
Yeah.
But we need more players like that. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, I agree, bro. I absolutely agree.
So for a footballer now who's maybe going through, signed their first year pro, how can they potentially go down that route of gaining those project management skills?
So someone that's kind of got that first year pro, because obviously he's not guaranteed that he's going to sort of continue. That's like sort of a way to lure them in, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I think you got to do a lot outside. I think you got to do a lot of research outside that. Don't look at that first year pro and think I've made it. I think it's a thing where you have to research what you think you would genuinely enjoy, try and look at other outside interests and hobbies, because project management might not even be for that person. That person might be good at like coding. Not that project managers don't code, but he might be someone that's more on the tech side, like technical side. So for me, I think it's a case of researching. You have to understand yourself. I think a lot of people don't understand themselves. It's not only where the money's at, to be fair. you have to sort of understand yourself and then try and navigate that.
Yeah.
Look at your strengths and weaknesses. What am I actually going to enjoy? You can even stay in football. There's careers in football. I've even tried to get project management jobs in football. Like, if I could, I would do that in a heartbeat. If I could get a project management job in football, I would happily do that in a heartbeat.
That's top.
That's what I'm saying.
What actually is project management? Break it down for us.
Oof. Projects management, yeah. I think people think it's like crazier than what it is. A lot of people that like I speak to about it. But it's essentially you organizing just aspects of a project. So for example, let's say if a company is like, let me use more of a simple example. Let's say if a company is building like a building. Let's say if a company's building a building, like a big construction site, let's say, or whatever. Your job as a project manager is to sort of organize the resources. So like what we're using, organizing the people that are going to work, organizing their time, organizing, okay, how much are they going to get paid? Like, what does it say on the contract? Looking at all of that. As you go along, you then sort of manage these like updates, manage the progress. Okay, so what's going on here? Is there any risks? Has anything come up? Is there any changes to the budget? Is there anything that we need to do? Just making sure everything's sort of in plan.
Seems like a lot of
yeah, it's still
what do you call it?
Planning.
You know the thing that risk assessment.
Oh yeah, that's a big part of it, bro. I'll be
risk
honest.
assessments, just to tick all those boxes are
Literally.
long.
But that's what it is, man. It's like you gotta manage risk. Like you gotta manage everything, every single aspect, and you gotta manage people. That's the key thing.
So how do you think your experience in football has helped you in that role?
Oh man, it's helped me massively, you know. Because in football you have to speak to people and you have to communicate. Otherwise you're not gonna, especially like with the position that I played, because growing up I was actually a midfielder, then I moved into playing as like a winger striker. And when I was playing in midfield, I had to communicate a lot to the people around me. So I had to communicate to a lot of like the players. So in terms of like, do you know what? I'll use a better example. If you're a centre back, for example, right? You're going to need to communicate with your left back. You're going to need to communicate with your other centre back. They're going to need to cover that side of the pitch, for example. Let's say if you're, in football term, let's say if a team is on that side of the pitch, even you as a goalkeeper as well, you're going to need to tell your centre back, get that guy, for example. Or in a wall, you might need 3 man because, you know, the other side of the goal is open, for example. So all of that communication and all of those aspects of communication and organization and team management, teamwork, that all goes into project management because you're managing a team of people as well, a team of developers. So if it's actually exactly similar. Like being a project manager, it's like being a football manager as well. Think about it. Low key. Yeah, it literally is. You're managing a team of people.
So you have to have a lot of leadership skills.
Yeah.
That you can get.
And the thing is, you're not exactly the boss of them. You manage them. That's what people get mixed up. When you start trying to act like the boss, that's when there's an issue. You know, I think a lot of football managers nowadays, I think unless you're a top, like Mourinho or Pep, that's when they're seen like as a boss. But I think there's some players that have big egos. Like you can never be someone like Lionel Messi's boss. No. Or Ronaldo's boss. Like they're their own bosses at that point when they've achieved so much in their career. So that's how I kind of see it, innit?
Yeah. And on your TikTok, I know I've come across a lot of your posts. Where did that journey start? Why did you make that TikTok? Your TikTok?
That was my girl. I can't lie, bro. Like I didn't even want to make the video. I remember when I got my contract at the time for project management, and I was like, rah, like crazy. Because I went like 9 months unemployed, and football, I was unfit. I didn't even want to play football. I was just stressed. I was like, you know what? I was just laying in bed every single day. And I decided, like, you know what? Let me try and get back into like some sort of like routine. Then that's when I kind of cleared my mind. The way the video came about, my girl was just like, you should make a video, put this, put that, and just release it, and it'll go viral. And I said, if it goes viral, if it goes viral, I'll take you out to dinner next week. So I said to her, and then it just went viral. Like, bro, I posted it. I remember I just saw it just blow up, and then I saw it on another page, like the Black Society page on Instagram as well. Like one page on Instagram. I was like, bro, okay, I didn't think it would reach that many people. Fair enough. But yeah, it was her that did it, man. It wasn't my idea, guys. So. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
The social media.
So why did you continue on, and why did you? because I see it's quite passionate in those videos in terms of helping people into the project management scene.
Yeah, I started enjoying it. And funnily enough, that's not my first video that went viral. It was my football video. That's on like 1.4 million views. That one went viral first. And then my project management went viral. So for me, it was a thing where, you know what? Like, I'll be honest, I think at first I was like, oh, it did views, let me do it again. But then I started to enjoy it. I was like, you know what? People are actually asking me for advice and like I can give them it because I've done this for a bit now. And yeah, like I can tell people how to get into these things. I think there's a way you got to do it as well. I think you have to be manipulative, even though that sounds crazy. You have to exaggerate yourself. At the end of the day, we're all black. Most of us are black in terms of ethnicity. Like in terms of my page, like the people that connect with me, a lot of them are black, and a lot of them. That's one thing that I realized. A lot of them are black, and a lot of them are aspiring project managers that are black. When you are black, some things don't come to you as easily. You have to exaggerate yourself and work 10 times harder. So that's why when people come to me, I tell them how to do that. I'm like, okay, you got to do this. You have to exaggerate this, because that's what all the other guys are doing. They're exaggerating themselves and getting the jobs, but then we're just being nice. You got to exaggerate yourself, man.
You have to employ that skill that you didn't have when you were at Norwich.
Bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. You got but now when I play...
Tenacious.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. But now, if you ask anyone, bro, I'm one of the most tenacious guys on the pitch, man.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just learning. And what would you say is the best book that's impacted you?
Ooh, I read all the time as well. Ooh.
Or top 3?
Ooh, I read all the time. Relentless is one. I think you might have heard of Relentless. Every baller.
Of course, yeah.
That's one of my favorite ones. Relentless, Power of Your Subconscious Mind.
Yeah.
And How to Talk to Anyone. Those 3.
Powerful.
Those 3 books are the one.
I've read them. I think the best one that's changed my life is probably The Power of the Subconscious Mind.
Oh, so you read that as well?
Yeah,
okay, same book. Yeah. That book's good.
Powerful.
That
it has some prayers that I use in my daily devotion.
When I saw they mentioned prayers, that's when I said, okay, this guy's brazy. Whoever wrote this, they know what they're doing. Because
it's henceforth. Oh my gosh, I can't even remember. No, it goes like henceforth. I will grow more in good humor, joy, happiness, and cheerfulness are now becoming my normal state of mind. I am grateful.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what? That book. Yeah, I can't lie. Like,
I think that's the best book. Yeah, if you want to change your life, you have to read that book.
That will change your mindset completely. I promise you guys. Like that.
100%.
That book.
It changed my life still.
That's what I'm saying.
After reading that book, that's when all this stuff I've been doing happened.
And you're doing quite a bit now, innit? So you got this podcast.
Yeah.
You work and then you play football as well. Like, that's crazy. But so you said time management is how you're balancing that?
It's only God, man.
What based on what you're trying to really get into, let's say League 2, League
Premier
1,
League.
like Premier League? Of course, bro. Of course. But like, what's the next, like, or you want to go straight? You know what? I've seen people.
No, not straight, obviously.
No, you know, I've seen some guys. It's possible though.
It's possible, but not straight. I have a realistic mindset in terms of obviously
like a League 1 thing first, Championship.
League 2, National League,
getting
getting the games, innit? It's all
need
about
the game time.
The average age for a keeper is 27.
I just clock. You've got a long span because a lot of keepers I'm seeing they're still playing at like 42, 43.
Yeah. So it's the average age for a goalkeeper in the EFL is around 27.
Yeah,
28.
it's quite old, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's the aim, but that's it, man. So did it, man.
Yeah, I mean,
anything else you'd like to share with some of the younger footballers?
Man. I mean, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Like, you can do a million things. Like, being a footballer, just being a footballer, you're not defined by being a footballer. That's what I mean to say. So I think for a lot of the young ones out there, don't think that football's the only way. You can do so much. Like, honestly, don't think, like football's, they're earning this much. There's people out there that aren't footballers that are earning a crazy amount as well. There's people out there that are earning different things, doing different things. Like, and you can be more than one thing at the same time. Like, there's a lot of footballers that are businessmen. What's his name? Was it Flamini? One of these footballers are a billionaire now. It was Matthew Flamini. He played for Arsenal, so he's a billionaire now.
Yeah,
He sold some, I don't even know what he done, but he's got like some sort of
That's it, yeah.
thing. But yeah, to all you guys, don't be defined by just being a footballer.
Who are you beyond football?
Who am I beyond football? Oof. Who am I beyond football? I'd say a businessman. That's what I define myself. I like any opportunity, I'll take it. I'm that type of guy. Like I try and always plan ahead. I'm always trying to do something. I'm always trying to invest in something. Like I'm not just someone that plays football. I'm someone that likes to invest. Like I want to be a businessman. Like how you do all these different things. Like I have my different ventures that I am doing as well.
As I've seen on your link tree.
Yeah.
All the ebooks and that.
Hey, I hope you bought one.
You need to help me out. I need to get mine up.
Bro, you got to follow, bro.
Yeah,
so I'm saying, bro, you can do your thing as well easily, bro. You got more of a presence than me on that.
Meeting.
Nah,
Have a
100%.
meeting still.
I can help you with that, bro. Trust me. You will trust me.
Saying that in.
Trust me, bro.
Run that up, man. But
100.
it's been the Beyond Football podcast. You guys have heard it here, man. You know, someone making something out of themselves beyond football, showing you that, listen, football doesn't run. There's more than enough opportunities for you to play football and also have a successful, fulfilling, impactful career. So thank you very much for coming on, Jamal.
Cheers, man. I appreciate that, bro.
Come on.
Been a pleasure, man.
That's it. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Beyond Football podcast on Spotify. It's not only on YouTube. We're a video podcast, but you can listen to us in your car, when you're heading to training, when you're driving, parents, whenever you're picking up your kids, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everything. Just type in the Beyond Football podcast and check out our website, beyondfootball.uk, and make sure you check out EJ, the James' Journal on TikTok.
Guys. Come on, man.
All of that. Check out the content if you want to get into project management. But till next time.
Been a pleasure, man.
#Beyond Football.
Come on.
Out.
Hey.